Jack Anthony, really important game for his career at the Fremantle Dockers.
Opening bounce then, the umpires denied Margetts. Finlay and Ryan. Bounce favours Sandilands, hooks it down behind. Arriving quickly, Thomas. Spills to Blair. Taken down by Clark. So that's interesting. Clark and Sandilands both inside the centre square at that opening bounce. Now, Lee was talking about third man up. This seems the situation that's perfectly disposed to that. Well, Clark stayed down. Whipped out wide there by Jolly. Taken by Thomas. Thomas comes out towards the wing. It's all Collingwood and a couple of classy players, but it runs away from Pendlebury and goes out of bounds. So a throw in.
Interesting matchup in the back half for Collingwood. Ryan Crowley's gone to Davis. Davis averaging 22 kicks a game in the last month.
And the last time we saw him on Friday night footy, he absolutely starred, didn't he, Davis? Tricks and all by the end of the night.
Yes, you know that the opposition are going to approach Leon Davis, who's been so good bouncing off there, that he's going to get the defensive forward, I would have thought, quite regularly from now on.
So Harry O'Brien loose at the moment, both playing a loose player. O'Brien loose and probably Duffield the loosey for the Dockers. Rook's handle okay. Fawkes' tackle high on Johnson. Thomas running hard. Swan just let it bounce. Mzungu with him. He had the job on Dal Santo 3 weeks ago on Friday night footy. Swan runs away from him, kicks to Cloak in the back free kick.
Just push him underneath it.
Great leg speed.
As he went up for the ball, just nudged him. Thank you. Thanks, Luke.
Does have great leg speed, Luke McFarlane. Just getting the hand, obviously, in the back. We'll get another look at it. But a really tantalising matchup. McFarlane's probably been in all-Australian form. We just see it here. Closing speed was good. Maybe over the shoulder, the free kick.
I think he felt that he had his forearm in his back, but it was he certainly went forward under the football, but the contact from behind didn't look that much.
No. It's been pretty good with the set shots this year. Cloachy struck that well. All the way. He's up to 59 goals for the season. Collingwood get the first.
That's a good return, isn't it? When you're getting up towards 60 goals, he gets a lot of the ball running around half forward. It's been amazing how the work that he's done on his set shot goal shooting has made him from really erratic to quite reliable now when he got the ball in hands. Massive improvement in 12 months on that part of his game.
Here's another look at the free kick.
It's the forearm in the back, isn't it, that was paid?
You've got to say there's not much in that. The fist was closed, the arm was there. It's just the momentum that propelled him forward.
Cloak becoming such a force. Sandilands taps it down. Well done by Fife when he coughed it up. Thomas, Johnson. Well done, Mzungu. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Runs down towards the 50. Davis, when waiting, got him, took him down. He'll have the ball up. Let's go down to Richo.
Yeah, well, Collingwood have gone with that three-man tall forward line with Wood down there along with Dawes. That's a different look to it's had. And Jack Anthony is playing on Chris Dawes, his old teammate.
Lower throws the body in, and that hurt him. Tapped out of there by Sandilands. Trying to advance the ball was Hill. Comes across to Fife, 52 metres out, vacant goal square, looks good. He puts it through.
Just good sustained pressure there by Fremantle. The turnover came that Dale Thomas got on the end of, but it was Mzungu who got the ball back, and there's some good energy from Freo.
That's some good. It's a next generation starting midfield. You had Stephen Hill, you had Fife, you had Mzungu, all guys that haven't played a lot of footy, but they were the starting midfield. Good for Fife, good player Fife. I just second-year player, but geez, talented.
Be surprised if he doesn't win their best and fairest. Had an outstanding year. They're talking about all-Australian calculations for Nate Fife. He's just got all the attributes. I mean, he's a fantastic athlete, uses the ball well, and seems to have great temperament with his work around the football.
Been one of the big success stories, hasn't he? Just 19 years of age. He's the only teenager out there tonight for the Dockers. Collingwood have got three. Sandilands, Barlow, Fife to Hill. I wonder if he could have a big match tonight, Hill. Well, Brown, who started his career in the purple haze, to Davis. Good kick to Beams.
Stephen.
Had a magnificent 4 or 5 weeks, Beams, after missing a lot of footy. He's come back and had so much of the ball, close to averaging 28 disposals over that period and kicking a heap of goals, 8 in the last 4 weeks. Oh, gee, Thomas cleaned up Ibbotson with a front honour. So away you go. It was Anthony to Clark, and then a long ball in. Tuvey to get back. Held his ground well, got down low, and he'll get a free kick. Just a bit sloppy, the Dockers, because Tuvey was gone, actually.
Sometimes that energy can translate to sloppy playing. I think it was Broughton on that occasion just getting down. Tuvey's going to put his head over the ball all the time.
Jeez.
Do you look at that?
I think you do.
When you come off the ground like that?
If it's made contact to the head, that's when you're in trouble.
So Collingwood with Reid flipping it over the top to Johnson. Goes out wide. Goal sack. Didak, great to see him back down towards the wing. Jolly takes the mark. Darren Jolly drives long down towards the attacking 50. Wood comes to the foot. He does nicely. Leading Forks. He's about 60 metres out. Miscues with a kick. It wobbles inside the forward 50, and Cracker, no stranger to this ground, takes the mark 35 metres out directly in front.
He was a little bit unlucky, Ibbotson, then. He actually had the goal side covered, but the ball, as you said, Dennis, wobbled off the boot, and it meant that Cracker ended up actually at the fall of the footy. So a little bit of good fortune then for Cracker to be in the right spot.
We're back him to kick this one. So in the wake of those fireworks to start proceedings, Cracker comes through.
What's an interesting contest going out there between Sandilands and Jolly. I mean, already in the ruck contest, even Jolly's big, but Sandilands is just too big. Is getting hand to the footy, but gee, when in the flow of play, Jolly is thinking, I'm going to be able to outrun the big fella, and which he's probably going to be able to do.
Well, they're two players, aren't they? Two ruckmen that can push forward. They know how to sit back behind the play. They've actually got genuine footy smarts.
Well, here's the Daisy Thomas-Ibbotson clash from just a few moments ago. That's just a good old-fashioned shirt front in the old days. Wouldn't have even been looked at. But the problem is now when you come off the ground and make contact with the head, they definitely look at those.
So that will be on everybody's mind, I'm sure, back in Melbourne, the Collingwood fans. Reid was terrific. Look at Swan, how quick he is in the high altitude of Arizona, you'd reckon. That's when you run the fastest times. Ibbotson gets it from Anthony. A big night for Anthony tonight, and Reid just picked it off. Just thinking aloud, Dennis, the last time Cracker played on this ground, was it the Waffle Grand Final? I guess they play the Waffle Grand Final here.
Yes, they do.
He had a massive match, didn't he?
He did, won the Simpson medal, kicked a few goals.
Pavlich, who I think had the op yesterday. So
hip operation yesterday.
Well, everyone waits, and then Beams takes it and kicks it a little bit wide. McFarlane allows it to run over the line with Anthony in hot pursuit.
You mentioned Dane Swan a couple of times. I don't know how quick he'd run at 40 metres, but gee, he runs a real quick 10 metres.
Doesn't he?
A couple of times when he's got that little short step running gait, so when he accelerates, he can really take off.
Fastest one in the world. The boundary throw in, knocked down by Sandilands, taken by Beams, and he snaps, and that's a beauty. Out of nothing.
Bruce touched on the form of Dane Beams, particularly in the last month, averaging 28 disposals a game. He's had 2 goals. He wins the ball in tight, but also out in space. He's really developing his career magnificently at the moment. Just so dangerous, adds another fall. Didak's a player who's been down for Collingwood, and he's really stepped up, hasn't he, Lee?
You'd be annoyed there that Sandilands got clear hands to the footy, but hit it straight to a Collingwood player. Now, that's the ultimate hit out, but it's not a hit out to advantage. It's, in fact, a hit out to a disadvantage, isn't it? And they've got to do better with where the ball is directed from that ascendancy they've got in the ruck contest.
One of 16 premiership players out there tonight, Beams. So Collingwood get a fly here. 3-1, free-flowing match. Lower, Mzungu. That's a good kick. He straightened it up and gave Fife the run. Davis will try and cut it off, and he does. Well, I liked it off the boot. I don't like it quite so much now. Always like Davis off the boot. What a weapon he is at half-back. I mean, he just runs and carries and then delivers. Side bottom, kicks inside 50. Dawes front spot. Anthony at the back belts it over the line.
Well, the kick moments ago, Bruce, from Mzungu to Fife was the play was there. Fife made a fantastic decision at the centre clear stoppage to get out the front of the stoppage, but just shows you when you just miss your kick, can't afford to do that, and Davis swept up magnificently.
Wood in front, directs it down. Pendlebury, the cracker. Fife got him down. Well done by Pendlebury. Got a hand on the Palmer hand pass. Back into the congestion. They scramble after it. Pendlebury again stood tall. Subban going nowhere. Ball trickles out eventually. Hill found a way through. Not a particularly good hand pass. And it goes out of bounds. Byron Shammer, number 3. Out of favour for so long. There he is, getting a chance tonight. Thrown in outside the attacking 50. Wood just deftly lays it down. Swan close to the boundary line, beams in trouble, tries to feed it forward. Side bottom just takes it across the line gently. Another throw in. Collingwood lead it by 12 early going on Friday night. And as bookmakers betting against Friday night, we always deliver, Bruce.
Here, so lower down low.
Go to chance.
So he missed the 2 games lower this year, both of them ironically against North Melbourne. One early in the year and then last week. He's had a good season off the rookie list. Clark over the top. Quick kick by Pendlebury, then Wood, who's had a little bit early. Duffield plays on, he's in trouble. Got a good handball away, actually. They might get out of this all right. Work it through the middle. Palmer back to Barlow, who had a handball earlier. Clark. Well, we're back where we started from with Duffield out wide. Good kick to Mzungu. Normally good with it. Ball in hand. Kicks to Broughton. High tackle, free kick.
I reckon Thomas really hurt his thumb there too, applying a tackle. I don't think he's right, Thomas.
So Davis at the back, and now Didak. Good kick back to Goldsack. There's Thomas over the top. Hill getting in hard was Broughton over the top. Hill again. And the Collingwood player there, I think, is Goldsack. It is. Mzungu, what happens here? I think a ball up.
Straight up, hey!
He's certainly feeling that thumb, Thomas, that left thumb. We'll just see how that comes up in the next few minutes.
Bounce on the outer side. Wood towards the boundary line. Stays in. Hill been busy so far. Does okay. Subban gives it across to Palmer. Palmer floats it down towards full forward. Reid. Wonderful balance by Reid. Kept coming. Pendlebury tries to knock it across. Ooh. Gee, they'll look at that too. Down goes. He'll have a busy night. Thomas is down. And hurt. Very dangerous by the man coming at him lower. And Lower looking at the Giant scoreboard there, maybe trying to work out just what he'll get for that. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's exactly what the game has tried to knock out. Actually, when a player's got his head over the ball, you've just got to, you can't get any contact on him. He looks like he's okay, Thomas, but that would certainly be a reportable offence, you would have thought.
That's the classic, isn't it?
There are a couple of clear indicators, obviously, the head over the ball, but when you go past the ball like Lower did on that occasion, just totally...
laid the bump, head over the footy.
Well, good news that Dale Thomas is up and running off the ground, so that did look nasty. O'Brien's kicked to centre wing. Jolly in a wrestle with Fawkes and a boundary throw. And as Thomas makes his way from the arena, he's one tough daisy, isn't he?
Oh, sorry.
So Sandilands and Jolly, and then Johnson with pace to Tuvey, and the left footer out in space. So Woods had a bit of it early. He gets a lovely bounce. Now he can deliver here. Kicks the ball inside the 50. Doors underneath, and Anthony takes a good mark. 50 goals for Collingwood a couple of seasons back, hey, Jack Anthony? Leading goal kicker. Back to centre wing. Big fly from Fife. Couldn't quite hang on. The Sandilands' hands were good. And then Clark releases Pearce. Good kick forward. Johnson. There's a chance to get a goal here. Slow handball over the top. Crowley on. And Kepler's going to get one. So they get their second.
That was Johnson, who was a crucial player in that build-up by Fremantle, pushing off the tall. It's Wood, who's playing as a tall forward for Collingwood alongside Cloak and Dawes, and Johnson, the highly athletic player that will do that all day if given the opportunity. So that's one area of the ground game, I guess, Mick Malthouse will be wanting Cameron Wood to certainly tighten up on. As we see Thomas come back on with a bit of a crook now.
Got the one man ahead of the footy, didn't they?
Yep.
Made it count.
Got on the end of it there, Kepler Brady. It's Michael Johnson who pushed off Cameron Wood, the tall Collingwood forward line player, through the middle of the ground. Knocked
down by Sandilands. In trouble lower. Taken higher by Jolly, and we'll have a bounce.
Now, I think my eyes are telling me that Sandilands is doing really well in the hit-outs, but Collingwood are 7-4 up in the clearances. So it's one thing to get your hand up top. You've got to get it down the bottom. That's a good one.
Inspired. He heard you, Lee. Got it down to lower. Kicks down towards the 50. Pushed out of it, O'Brien. Leading back in the race. Broughton close to the boundary line. Boots a ball. Does it stay in? Yes, it does. Johnson hooks it back towards the kick-off line. Bradley almost put it down. Goldsack. Well, that was ambitious. Goldsack got the hand pass away in just the nick of time, if it was that. Eventually comes across to Johnson to Pendlebury. He's dragged down. Well done by Broughton. Ball spills wide. In goes Barlow. Suddenly a bit of tempo. Beams kicks it out towards the wing.
Yeah, good stuff. Cloak ridden down for Solo. Does he keep it in? Oh, he does. And a boundary thrown. And Didak's in a blue with Subin. And Palmer and for Solo. So bit of fire in the game early.
Oh, there's energy, no doubt about it. Fremantle have come out, Broughton early, lower early. Obviously, Subin getting involved.
Sandilands pushes Jolly out of the way. Barlow running hard. Mzungu, he put him under the pump. He dropped it down, got a toe poke. Beams to Thomas, back to Beams. Good kick, Beams on the left. What a good quarter he's playing. And Dawes, great to have him back. Missed the last 7. I remember, Lee, you thinking early in the year, the really big plus they had was Cloak and Dawes together.
Yeah, Cloak's the moving, big, strong marking centre-half forward. Dawes plays off the full forward line pretty well. Though the two together, they're a very hard matchup. You need two really high-quality big defenders to take those two.
Well, he started the season in sensational style against Port Adelaide and North Melbourne. Kicked 30 goals last year. That's a big, big hook, but won't even make the distance. Belted away. And Swan chasing on a boundary throw.
You always think he's missed a lot of footy, but he's missed it with a hand injury. So you always think he's probably been able to do the majority of the running training. So his condition shouldn't be too bad, given he's missed, what, 6 weeks or so? 7 weeks.
Entertaining start, this one, and Fremantle up and about. Clark from behind the pack. Opportunity for Beams. Missed by Thomas. He's over the football now. Tries to get the ball to Wood. Pushing the ball forward was Dawes initially. Stolen by Cracker. And Cracker kicks a miracle goal. Stealth.
Well, he's been light on his feet close to goal. We've seen so often this year when he's just been able to just slip the tackle, give himself half a step to be able to manufacture a quick snap at goal. It's been pretty much the Cracker specials quite regularly, that type of goal.
Always on the move. He just takes the ball with a bit of momentum. You never see him flat-footed anywhere on the football ground, particularly around a stoppage, and that's how he gets on the end of it so well.
Look at the sidestep. He'll let's have a look. Where's the body? Have a look for him. There he is. There. Just slips that tackle. He's just got great, not strong man, but great balance over the footy.
What a sensation. It's the old Rovers goal from the forward pocket, isn't it? I mean, Richo down on the boundary reckons he's the best sort of crumbing forward he ever played with in a long stretch at Richmond, and that was a good example. Palmer, Mzungu. Such a good athlete.
Very good pickup, hasn't he, Mzungu? He's a good player. He's going to be a good player for them.
25 years of age, playing his first season, eh? So Pearce. Played a bit of footy this year, Pearce. Hasn't quite got himself a regular spot. Shamo too slow, lower. He's been in trouble a bit tonight, lower, and he's in trouble there.
What was interesting on that one was that Sandilands pushed very deep into their forward 50, and Jolly only went halfway and created some confusion.
Well, Duffield was the third man up, and he wins it back to Shamar, and the ball, I think's rolled out. Not quite, now it has.
Just under 9 minutes till quarter time. Duffield back in the side tonight. Just about any able-bodied person down at Fremantle had a chance this week. Down to virtually 22 players. Here's Clark in the grasp over the top. Shammer slides to the ground, did well back to the lower, who decides to kick this time, goes short, and it works out okay. On the outer side, Broughton looks back towards the middle. Some danger inherent in the kick. Works out okay. Ibbotson. Now McFarlane. After a slow start this season, has really found some form. To Anthony. So just for the moment, the Doc is taking the sting out of things. I have to say, to a glorious night. Eventually, though, just chipping it around. Margin for error high on that last kick. Thomas able to knock it out of bounds. And clearly, he's something of a target, Thomas. Subban getting across to make his presence felt. Boundary throw in. Gunnerwood's right half forward. No ruckman touched it. Runs free at the back, taken by Johnson. Releases Swan. Swan hesitates, then gives it off to Tuvey. Perth boy drives it long downwards. Full forward. And a terrific mark is taken in front by Cloak.
That's a good mark. I mean, good opposition. He's a good player, McFarlane. And the ball looked like it was going to go too long, but he just was able to hold his ground, dig the stops in, put the hands up. Strong mark.
Really clever play here by Dane Swan. Yeah. Looked up and drew the Fremantle opponent, and a really fantastic kick from Tuvey. Just watch the mark here. Jeez, he's got some grippo on the hands there. I reckon just stuck.
Ball might not leave his hands when he kicks it.
Already this season, a career high 59 goals. And he comes, gets his second of the night. 60 on the nose for Travis Cloak.
One of the things that impresses about Travis Cloak is exactly that kind of mark. Like, you're not going to take 10 of them again, but if you can take 2 or 3 or 4 marks where really it's just a genuine one-on-one contest, and you're strong enough to hold under the footy and take the mark, then it's really a 50-50 chance. That's become a bit of a special for Travis Cloak. He's taking 2 or 3 or 4 of them a week.
This goal was set up by Dane Swan getting the ball here on his defensive side of the stoppage. He was playing on Fife. Fife also went defensive side of the stoppage. Gave Swan far too much room, resulting in that inside 50 and goal. Good learning experience for the young player.
So Swan out of the centre. Quick hands though by Broughton. Releases Barlow out wide. Main front spot. The Collingwood plays everywhere here. So Reid just left it for Brown. Advantage given. Brown got a high tackle. The kick to Ibbotson. So Ibbotson in board. Duffield cut it off. I think it was for Sandilands. Just a quickie on Cloak. That's 60 goals, as Dennis said. That's the first time a Collingwood player's kicked 60 under Mickey Malthouse. Yeah. You've got to go back to Sav Rocker in 1998 since a Collingwood player's kicked 60 in a season. So it's been a magnificent year. Mazzugo should have taken the mark and a boundary throw in. I mean, you probably got 70s nearly heyday, did you, Lee?
Oh, yeah, no, well, he was a very good player. Kicked 10 one day, that first Anzac Day in 95 when he kicked 10 against Collingwood, against Aston. Just fantastic.
Boundary throw in out of side. Wood knocks it down. Cracker had it, lost it, comes behind the pack, taken by Subban. High ball out of bounds on the foot.
There's been plenty of these off the ball. That's a great attack there by Daisy, getting a bit back, but then Broughton actually chased him back up and gave him another one. So that's been clearly a premeditated target.
Goalsack runs it off the ground. Still going, Goalsack. Very lucky. Just shrugs off the tackle and then I think unsettled by it all. And Ibbotson has put his shoulder out. Goalsack put the ball over the boundary. Bit happening. Free kick to McFarlane. Wasting no time. They're outnumbered because of Ibbotson coming off, and the mark is taken down there by Brown. Should I say more outnumbered, given the way they play footy these days. Goalsack goes back. Reid, such a good player. Moving for Tuvey. Tuvey is still on, but he wants to go longer. Bypasses Tuvey. Kicks beyond the wing. Loose ball at the back. It's going to be a free kick. It'll go to Collingwood. Advantage won't be paid because this ball is down near the 50. It's coming back.
Gee, that injury just might be growing still. So Ibbotson with the shoulder heavily bandaged. He's had an eventful opening term. He was the guy that Daisy knocked over early in the quarter. So Johnson's kick close to the line, and Jolly has taken a good mark, I think.
handy when your first ruckman can go forward and take a strong mark, isn't it? A great weapon, Jolly, when he can do that.
He's missed a bit of footy this year after all those. Gee, that's close, isn't it? Missed a bit of footy, but he has now played 8 of the last 9, Jolly, so that's good coming into the finals. One of the absolute keys to Collingwood. Improves the angle. I think he was going for goal, but he does set it up and crack it. Well, he nearly did it for the 3rd time, but he misses the hat-trick and misses the left. So Ibbotson injured.
Just the innocuous extra grab you just see
the tackle.
And just that's why he dropped the tackle, obviously. Just slipped out, lost all strength and popped his shoulder.
So Barlow, fine story that one. Getting back in this team and immediately playing good football. The ball's out of bounds. Reid sung his praises a lot already. And we've called his name a lot as well. He'll be knocking on the door of all Australian selection, you would think.
Aaron Sandilands, you're wrapping him up. Aaron Sandilands.
So that was the front position, backward wrap up. Fine to believe the umpire. Yes, it is. It's well described, not by me, but by the umpire. He picked it beautifully. Not sure the Beast could master that. Ball goes towards the outer side. Pendlebury slips it away to Didak. Runs down towards left half forward. Just sets it up for the tall timber. Clears the pack. Runs free at the back. McFarlane with dash comes away. Love to see a defender do that. They run the ball up the ground. Palmer slips a hand pass away. McFarlane kept on coming. Shammer with a chance.
And now Hill. A bit of magic from Hill. Back inside. Pearce has to release it. Was it high by Fasolo? It's a free kick against Collingwood. So some exciting stuff set up by McFarlane.
Huge swarm of Collingwood players converged on that contest.
Collingwood just cover the ground so quickly when they're defending, don't they? They're brilliant at it. Sandilands the target. It looked a slow ball, but he's such a giant that Pendlebury couldn't make an impression. Johnson at half forward. Late goal here would be handy. Dockers have been up and about, but they trail by 3. Main gets a fingertip. Clark. Down low, Crowley. Broughton, Hill. Still with Hill, couldn't quite. And now Swan comes away and kicks the ball beautifully out in front of Cloak. Down low for Solo. What a good young player he is. Picked it up with one hand and then drills it towards Dawes. Good effort though by Fawkes at the back. Boundary throw. Some good footy being played here in the opening term.
It was good footy by Dane Swan at the other end of the ground. Nullified Zach Clark in a marking contest and obviously does his best work at ground level.
Michael Malthouse coaching his 26th game against Fremantle. He's won 17 of them. Of course, those figures fattened up by the Western Derbies when he was with the West Coast Eagles. Won the first 9 Western Derbies. Coached 83 games on this ground with the West Coast Eagles. Knows it well. Sandilands brilliantly. Got it down to Clark to lower down towards half forward. Wonderful by Tuvey. Controlled it, took the mark. Unassuming defender. Goes towards the outer side. Davis. Indicated during the week, Davis, he might finish his football in Western Australia. Strange time to talk about that. Back in the team tonight. Didak out against the boundary line. Threads the needle. Free kick, side bottom. No doubting that. Side bottom. One that so often gets under the radar. Well, big assignment for Blair. Knocked to the front of the pack. There are only 2 up. Fife was the 3rd man there. Controlled the footy. Goes to Crowley.
Long way from goal, but he sets it up to full forward. Bradley gets into the back of O'Brien. Oh, gee, Reid again.
He's been good there, hasn't he, O'Brien? Drifts off his, not O'Brien, I should say. Reid drifted off his opponent, jumped 3rd up. We see him do that a lot, don't we?
It's the 5-metre protected area, both of you.
Gee, I'd like to see them out. I'd like to see Reid playing on Cloak.
I mean,
Reid, God, he's a good player, Reid, isn't he?
It's the footwork he does before he actually launches it. The ball just sums up the situation perfectly.
It's the confidence to lead your direct opponent to and go for the footy, rather than being opponent conscious.
Speaking of the Cloak, here he is getting a free kick against McFarlane. Just one-on-one, he's impossible to shift Cloak. That's a long kick, Cracker's free.
Andrew Cracker, advantage, advantage!
Heard the umpire. Swan releases young Sinclair. Now he should go over the top, and he does. Side bottom can run into an open goal, and Collingwood have got 6 in the opening term.
We marvel a lot about Collingwood for all the special things they do, the skills they possess, but what makes them such a great side is just their work rate. They make really great decisions at the coalface, both offensively and defensively. And you know, an old-fashioned person might say that he's got out on the front and cheated his way to the forward 50 there, but it's just a really smart decision by Still Sidebottom to run offensively and get on the end of it.
That was the cracker free kick, but then it's the number of Collingwood jumpers that get there. And all of a sudden, they just continually outnumber the Dockers player in the vicinity of the contest.
Sandilands gets it down to his own advantage and then kicks it towards half forward. In front was Crowley. Crowd wanted a 3-0 doing. Didak slips a hand pass away. Tuvey goes close to the boundary line, and the mark is taken out there though by Fawkes of the Dockers. Plays on, sells Barlow into trouble. Eventually they share it around. Fife went back to Duffield, who goes out to Pearce. Don King on the phone. He wants to talk about Reid versus Cloak with you, Brucey.
Be an easy sell, wouldn't it?
I'd say, yeah. I wonder if Mick ever gets bored and devises a game plan to beat Collingwood.
Well, if you read the paper today, he might be. Well, anyway, keep going.
He'll take the briefcase with him if he does. On the outer side, Broughton smelled it off the boot. It spills out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Well, certainly Fremantle have got now in front in the stoppages. Their clearances 12-10. They're going okay, Fremantle. Collingwood are just too good, so they're ball goals in front. But I thought you would have thought Fremantle, a lot of good things are happening on what they're capable of.
So Sandilands, that's one of the good things, Lee. Sandilands has been really good. Mzungo gets it back and then belts it inside straight to O'Brien, who switches it. What an eventful opening term Thomas has had. To Brown, and then Brown to space. Look how quick Swan is. He runs it with little steps and off he goes. And Lee, the crazy thing, you feel like the Dockers have played well.
That's exactly it. They've played well. 4 scoring shots they're getting beaten by, which is obviously 4 goals, so they're 24 points behind. But they've done about as well as you can expect them to do.
After the boundary throw in lower, sends it very close to the boundary line out on the full. What? Touch, says the umpire. Well, the former Docker, Brownie has a bit of a chuckle.
You sure? Yep.
I don't think so, Brett. 7 seconds to go. Crowd don't know that. Just practicing their unruliness. Tossed in. Knocked down by Jolly and/or Clark, who flew late over the top. Pendlebury over the shoulder. Beams. Wait for the siren. Out of bounds on the full that time. So all's well that ends well. And I venture to say this is too far out unless Ballantyne runs onto the ground.
Was that ball kicked before the siren? Pardon? Had the ball crossed the boundary line before the siren? Yes. It had crossed the boundary line before. So the ball had crossed the line. Okay. The ball had crossed the line. Mark's here. Mark's here.
It almost looks like a triangle too right there. The Bermuda Triangle of boundary lines. How about this? Humpy's got it right, no question. Johnson. This will take a very good kick. And the umpire will be watching if he runs off the line after what happened with Ballantyne. Well, Johnson makes a meal of it, puts it out of bounds on the full. So much happening, quarter time, Friday night football. Love what we've seen so far. Collingwood on top, but Fremantle doing okay. 6 goals to 2, a long way to go. Friday night footy.